Tzu Chi volunteers assess damages in mudslide-affected areas in Guatemala that were impacted by heavy rainfall. Hualien Tzu Chi Senior High School and Keat High School in Malaysia officially become sister schools. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. Affected by extreme weather, Guatemala was devastated by the storms in early August, leading to severe mudslides. In total, 140 houses in Amatitlan were ruined by the disaster. Therefore, local Tzu Chi volunteers went to assess damages to prepare for an aid distribution for affected residents.
The streets are full of damaged furniture and mud. Guatemala was devastated by the storms in early August, leading to severe landslides and destroying many houses in Amatitlan. Tzu Chi volunteers go to evaluate the conditions. In Kaohsiung de Molino, 32 families were affected by the landslides. The military dispatched soldiers to help people clean up their houses. Over 20 students also pitched in to help.
On the evening of August 3rd, there came the storms, and the landslides occurred. This road has been cleaned, but in some houses, there is still much mud.
Another disaster area is in Altamira 1. Many families live together in the same house. Before the flood, every family lived a difficult life, so the floods worsened their conditions. The volunteers survey the conditions and record every family's needs. The volunteers will hold a distribution on August 18th for those affected people.
When Typhoon Morakot ravaged Taiwan in 2009, many mountainous areas in Kaohsiung collapsed, with gravel and mud flowing into Pingtung's Linbian and Jiadong. Because of this, the water in these two districts could not recede, and the cumulative mud was as high as 2 or 3 floors. This was mainly caused by serious land subsidence. In our next report, we take a look at how Pingtung County Government helped to solve the problems over the past 10 years. Volunteers from all over Taiwan went to Pingtung's Jiadong and Linbian, which had accumulated mud as high as more than 1 floor. Among the local volunteers who accompanied the typhoon survivors to clean the mud was Li Guiyang. She was also trapped at home for 3 days. That year, she did not take refuge as soon as she escaped. Instead, she joined the disaster relief efforts for a month.
I told myself that I was a volunteer, not a victim, so I didn't go back to my home to take a look. It was until they came to clean my home that I know I was also affected.
For those who were both physically and mentally injured, Tima doctors went to their homes to provide services. This 80-year-old grandmother still remembers the wounds she had received. Just like the affected residents, Li Guiyang lives in Wenfeng village since childhood. She cannot escape from the fate of house subsidence and flooding.
When we were still at our home, before this building was built, our home had more floors than theirs, so she brought her children to come to my home. I had been thinking this way, why don't I move? But where will I move to?
The entire Wenfeng area is a region with a large cumulative subsidence in recent years. The average cumulative subsidence has reached 3.56 meters.
Wenfeng is the lowest area in Pingtung. The road surface is about 45 centimeters below the sea surface. Due to land subsidence, the agricultural industry that draws groundwater cannot escape the issue.
In the past, this was as high as the road surface, but because of land subsidence, it has become like this.
During Typhoon Morakot, this place was severely flooded with cumulative mud. Fish ponds can be cleaned and reoperate, but how about bell fruit gardens? Unable to clean mud in her bell fruit garden due to financial problems, salinization occurred in the grandmother's garden. This led her bell fruit trees to death, leaving only 2 trees behind. Attempting to solve problems for the affected peasants, Pingtung County Government proposed installing solar panels above fish ponds.
Installing solar panels above fish ponds can not only let them live life, but also draw less groundwater.
After installing solar panels above fish ponds or unfavorable farming grounds, it has surpassed 320 gigawatts of power generation. But for this senior farmer, she cannot apply for the installation.
There must be sufficient light to generate solar power. Since the house is located next to it, the conditions are not ideal.
Besides cumulative mud, the issue of land subsidence has also become serious.
This is mainly related to the load, because he has prepared the soil for gardening again, and the vehicle will press on the road surface when carrying the soil. Agriculture industries were impacted by the floods, so maybe he will need to dig the pond again and reorganize the pond. Since he needs more water, he will pump more water. The rainfall condition in 2011 was poor, so the industries needed to pump more water for use. This led to more serious land subsidence over the course of those 2 years.
In recent years, an artificial lake in Chaozhou has been established to subsidize the groundwater source from the upstream. In 2014, a seawater supply station was built to replace groundwater pumping, but the root source is still the groundwater well.
For those wells which people pump groundwater from, they need some related measures for legal management.
10 years have passed. Li Guiyang finally moved away from Wenfeng village, but she is still concerned about the issues of land subsidence and flooding in her hometown. To promote righteous thoughts during the 7th Lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers went to different communities to hold tea gatherings. Let's take a look.
Despite the rain, the sports field of the Zhonggang Elementary School is filled to capacity. Nobody leaves even if they must use umbrellas.
The bad weather doesn't undermine your passions. It's true, it's windy and rainy, but 300 to 400 people came together here.
The 7th lunar month ceremony is held every year in the community. Even the school's principal came to attend it.
From now on, we should use flowers and fruits in our worshipping. Then it can protect our environment.
I feel more peaceful through this activity.
In the community, I can hardly smell the odor of just paper being burned.
主公就是观世音菩萨，观世音菩萨怎么可能喜欢人们用杀生来拜他呢？你知不知道这些死掉的？
A skit is being played at a ceremony at the Linko power plant. It leaves a deep impression on the audiences.
The animals also have grudge and hatred, so if we eat them, we'll also eat their grudge and hatred.
I am a Catholic, but Dharma Master Zhen Yan has been teaching us righteous beliefs, righteous thoughts, and righteous thinking.
Tzu Chi volunteers also invite everyone to eat vegetarian meals and to do recycling, so they can reduce carbon emissions. The ceremony at the Taishan Community Center is filled with laughter and sad memory. When a volunteer mentions the September 21st earthquake 20 years ago, suddenly many people. The host of the DaAi TV makes everyone laugh.
I feel quite good. I'm 91 years old. Coming here, I feel very happy to watch their performances.
We should do good deeds and help people. If we adopt vegetarian diet, it's good for our health. So I brought my mother-in-law to this event. Seeing her health in such a good condition, we feel wonderful too.
We always bring Mom to Tzu Chi's events, and she likes it very much. Seeing her interactions with other people here, we know Mom enjoys it.
Tzu Chi's 7th lunar month ceremonies in communities bring joy to everyone.
Hualien Tzu Chi Senior High School signed an agreement with Keat High School in Malaysia to become sister schools. Teachers and students of Tzu Chi Senior High School visited Keat High School for cultural exchanges. Here is more.
The two principals from two different schools exchanged gifts. So from now on, Tzu Chi Senior High School from Hualien, Taiwan, and Keat High School from Malaysia have become sister schools.
Keat High School kept thinking about how to implement Tzu Chi culture, so its students can learn something they can use for the rest of their lives. The teachers from both schools realized that the students have exchanges for themselves only, but they should share them with children.
Just like what Principal Lee said, Keat High School started to promote Tzu Chi education in 2009. In 2015 and 2016, the school also held Sutra adaptation performances of the Sutra of Filial Piety and the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings, and the strength to learn Tzu Chi culture takes a step further in the summer.
What I expect the most is taking the students of Keat to Hualien to allow our students to go to our spiritual home and to see what they can learn when they are immersed in the Jinsi campus.
After signing the ceremony, the students from both schools hold a joint performance. They did not have any rehearsal beforehand, but they have a consensus.
Whether it is a traditional Chinese music performance or a sign language performance, the students from both schools show them in unison. This shows that their young lives and the sparks from their learning surpass what the textbook can teach them.
Cultural exchanges between the two schools allows the teachers and the students to develop a good friendship. They also hope to weave a beautiful chapter in their studying.
Workplaces in Indonesia require a lot of employees who speak Chinese. A group of young Taiwanese people hold an education fair regularly in Jakarta. This class was organized by the Overseas Community Affairs Council for the overseas Chinese to learn technical skills for free in Taiwan. Today is a weekend and the shopping mall is packed with people, but the representatives from 22 Taiwanese universities are there to hold an education fair. Founded in 1963, the Taiwan Overseas Young People Job Training Class aims to educate overseas young people practical knowledge and production skills. Young people will receive a 2-year training based on the job category in Taiwan for free.
那到目前已经有57年的历史。
This program has the history of 57 years, and we have trained over 20,000 graduates, and they are now in over 42 countries. The parents here really emphasize the students' education, and we are willing to help their children to come to Taiwan and learn some professional skills, which they can apply in their futures.
In March, we sent 73 students to Taiwan. We hope the number of registration can go over 100 next year.
22 universities from Taiwan have 48 professional classes for the students to choose from, including cooking, baking, tourism, mass media, Chinese language teaching, and so forth. The tuitions are paid by the Overseas Community Affairs Council, but the students are responsible for their rooms, living allowances, plane tickets, and other costs.
There are 152 Indonesian students, including Chinese Indonesians, on our campus. Some are even studying at grad schools. The new Indonesian students will be able to meet their compatriots and will have much more exciting lives on campus. The university also has an overseas students' kitchen, so these overseas students can go there to cook their traditional meals to ease their minds on their homeland.
While they are studying in Taiwan, they are also allowed to work. Having a steady income will allow these students to focus on studying. Next, we will meet two brave men who overcame difficulties in their lives. Zhong Menghong had a car accident 6 years ago, which left him partially paralyzed. Tzu Chi volunteers have been accompanying him for many years and even inviting him to take part in Tzu Chi commissioner training. Let's take a look.
He is paralyzed on one side of his body and only the left side is functioning. He is unable to put on pants but is able to take them off. So I have to come and help him put on volunteer training uniform, including underwear.
He is willing to help me now that he has invited me to attend the class. How can I say no? So why not go with him?
He injured his brain in a car accident, which left him paralyzed on one side of his body. When I first met him, he could only nod his head.
Because of his physical needs, he needs to use a toilet at any given time. Stand back here will not bother any class participants and easier on him.
I was also paralyzed at one point, but I was more fortunate because I recovered in a short amount of time. I'm still doing physical therapy right now, since many of our team members who were once paralyzed, got injured, and even had strokes. We all treat him like a brother. It will take you a longer time to become a certified Tzu Chi commissioner, but you are on the right path. We will get there sooner or later. When facing people with brain injuries, we should keep talking to them, even if they respond only with one sentence. It doesn't even matter if they don't respond. The most important thing is that they are listening. Mr. Zhong's mother said that since his son was badly injured in a car accident, it's a miracle that he survived. Being able to see her son talking and smiling, her mother has become happier and looks much younger.
My husband has passed away and my son has his health issues. Tzu Chi has helped us so much, so I thought that I really needed to reciprocate Tzu Chi's generosity. So I decided to come here to do recycling. I never believed that $180 a month could help people, but I was wrong. It wasn't until we received the help that I realized it does help. Any little money accumulated over time can save a family. Lin Jinfeng, who works odd jobs to support his family of 7, even if he has not received high education and is also a former inmate. He works very hard to shoulder the responsibility of taking care of his family. Let's take a look at what his sweet burden is and how this family meets their important people in life.
I am Lin Jinfeng. Yes, this is my eldest child, Chen Yo. My eldest daughter, Chen Ling, and my third child, Lin Chen Ru.
林晨曦，你几岁？9岁。还有一个你看轩 又这样哇！
他8个月。
美秀妈妈，你今年几岁？
今年24。
你几个孩子了
5个。
My ex-wife gave birth to 4 of my children over the years. Mei Shu treated them as if they were her own children.
可心好吃吗？
老三、老二、老大，他们都在喝。
The 3 oldest children are hitting their growth spurt right now, so they eat more. The food expense is about $700.
差不多吐司这样子，其实不到100块就解决了。
The toast we eat as a family is less than $4. If we eat outside, one person's expense would be about $2. That way, our family would have to spend more money. We consume about 1.5 loaves of bread each morning.
饭要。
I must raise the children. This is my responsibility as a father. If I don't fulfill this responsibility, then I shouldn't have even had them in the first place.
美秀说什么？你们家看起来像什么？
像卖衣服的，卖衣服的。
为什么？因为你们太多人了。
对啊。
I usually work at the construction site doing manual labor jobs. I take on odd jobs. I do anything as long as there are work opportunities. My face gets all sweaty. That's a normal state.
He is a hard worker. He is not willing to slack off. That's right, he has 5 children. He has to work hard since he has to raise 5 kids. I feel for his situation.
Hello， 我们来了。哇，好乖哦！你看，已经在洗米煮饭了哎。
可是你的布好像湿掉了。礼物。噔噔噔噔。好。这样怎么好意思？哇，
这颗特别的甜。
赞。
He loves this. The sweet mixed kanji is his favorite. He loves to eat this. I'm very grateful that they come to visit us. I feel that they are closer to us than our own family members.
I feel deeply touched because the volunteers personally taught us how to keep our living quarters clean. I'm now in charge of scrubbing the toilet.
好，冲水喽。这样他们才知道该怎么用。里面好干净，你看。之后的居家环境多自己照顾哦，好不好？
真的是很干。
I'm very grateful. Even the bathtub has been flipped over to be scrubbed.
At this stage, they're receiving help from the society, but as soon as they can stand on their own 2 feet, I'm sure they'll reciprocate this assistance back.
Listening to the sound, I think there must be a lot of 10 new Taiwan dollars coins inside.
1人2块。
哎，你有5块。
祝全家平平安安。对，要说感恩，
感恩。祝我考试顺利，祝爸爸妈妈身体健康。
师姐觉得很感动。
Thank you. I'm very happy to see these children. Very happy. They're like our own family.
乖成你真的好棒哦，真的。
吃菇小吃要，
During the 7th of the month, Zhangzhou Tzu Chi volunteers in Fujian once again went to different companies to promote benefits of a vegetarian diet. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching.